Hi, I'm Liz Mickenack, and this is my presentation regarding Luella in Code Section 162, Trade and Business Expenses. Luella grew up in a low-income family in a poverty-stricken community and has recently accepted a position as a consultant at High Fashion Limited, an expensive clothing store at the Elm Grove shopping mall. In order to work at High Fashion Limited, Luella must wear expensive outfits. Luella reached out to me asking if she's able to claim a deduction for the incurred clothing expenses under Code Section 162. After my research, I've come to the conclusion that Luella will not be able to claim her wardrobe expenses as a tax deduction. Internal Revenue Code Section 162A and Regulation 1.162-1A are fairly general when explaining trade and business expenses. Code Section 162A explains that there shall be allowed as a deduction all the ordinary and necessary expenses paid or incurred during the taxable year in carrying on any trade or business. Regulation 1.162-1A states very similarly that business expenses deductible from gross income include the ordinary and necessary expenditures directly connected with or pertaining to the taxpayer's trade or business. In order to understand further if Luella's clothing expenses would fall into these categories, I also reviewed Revenue Ruling 57-143 and Revenue Ruling 70-474. Revenue Ruling 57-143 involved a painter required to wear white clothing, including white overalls, which was ruled to not be special enough to allow for the deduction. Revenue Ruling 70-474 did in fact rule that uniforms for police officers and firefighters could be deducted since these uniforms cannot be adapted and worn in normal life situations. The ruling does state that just because the job requires a certain uniform does not automatically mean that the employee can claim a deduction. Court cases Popo v. Commissioner and Pevsner v. Commissioner also demonstrated situations where the employee was not able to claim the tax deduction due to the general nature of the specified clothing. As a follow-up to my research, I plan to write an informal letter to Luella explaining my research and the conclusions. This would be a more personal letter to Luella and inform her that I do not believe her clothing expenses are deductible in this situation and that she should not claim them as such on her tax return. I will thank her for reaching out to me and provide my contact information in case she would have additional questions.